You ever have one of those moments in your life where it just forces you to kind of take pause, take a step back, reflect? Well, that's kind of what I'm in right now. A few weeks ago, cousin, 48 years young, lost his battle with cancer, and it made me take a serious look in the mirror. Like, it wasn't just his age. We weren't necessarily super close. I'm nearly a decade younger, and he lives in a different country, but it's what his death represents at 48. That's halftime, frankly. Nowadays, fingers crossed it's less than halftime with the advent of AI and so on. But that's like sitting at soccer games with your kids, weekend barbecues. It's knowing what matters and still having time to act on it, right? But now he doesn't get those opportunities. You know, he has daughters like myself. They're a little bit older than mine, but they're eventually going to get married, and someone else is going to walk them down the aisle. And that made me pause because, like anyone, you get caught up in the day to day grind, coaching, writing, parenting, all the plates being kind of juggled at the same time. And I realized I just don't want to fixate on the build. I want to, stack memories inside the time I have now while I'm building, pursuing these things. And it's a difficult shift that I'm trying to make. So for me, a few years ago, losing those 60 pounds gave me a life I didn't think I would have, frankly. The energy, the confidence, the freedom, career pursuits, everything changed when I lost the weight. But here's what I don't necessarily talk about a lot is that health isn't necessarily guaranteed. It stacks the deck in your favor. Completely get that. The science is strong there, but it's not a guarantee. Because we all know someone who's done everything right didn't make it to old age. No fault of their own. Maybe it was genetics, maybe not. As for my cousin, I mean, he wasn't perfect in those areas, eating clean and avoiding alcohol and all those things, but I also know life doesn't always follow the plan. And for me, this made me realize I'm not promised decades still. What we do have is today, right now, and what really matters is making sure we're building memories worth holding on to right now. If you've got young kids, you don't want to miss those opportunities. At the same time, you want to look back on your career and not have regrets that you didn't take the leap or pursue it, an opportunity or push to get the company to the next level, whatever. So ask yourself, did we take the trip? Was I in the room, present, patient with my kids? That's a big one for me. Then I can say, without regret, I've done the right things. So I ultimately mourn what my cousin won't get, walking his daughters down the aisle, the graduations, the first grandchild, those Sunday dinners. So I've been thinking a lot about time lately, and hopefully this will help you take a little bit of time, even if you haven't had someone pass in your inner circle. Just put the phone down, look around the room, be in it, because ultimately the world's not going to stop spinning, but you can choose how your time is spent. And I talk a lot about health, the big five framework, calories, steps, lifting heavy, but the real behind it, what's the why? It's to stay in the game long enough to live well, to play the long game so you can keep up with your kids, grandkids, to build a life that feels full, not just long for the sake of living, but full of memories, quality time because you're healthy in order to pursue all that, but you're present, you're not sacrificing the wrong things. So when the buzzer sounds, you're not going to care what number of the scale read, you'll care about the memories you made while you could. Okay. So my message today is don't just fixate on living longer, longevity, but live better, be present, be intentional, be there while you still can. Hopefully this resonates.